Hi, welcome to It's Time with Charie. I'm your host, Charie Elon. I'm very excited about my episode today because I'm going to talk to responsible pet owners. And of course, I'm also going to talk with a millennial who tries to reach his maximum potential. They say whatever you think is the best for you or for your fellow men, go for it. And then you will be blessed to be able to make it. And so I'm happy to introduce to you my guests. The founder of Pawssion Project, Malu Perez. Hi, Malu.
Hello, Miss Charie.
Good afternoon, and welcome to It's Time with Charie. And a very beautiful lady. She is a very active volunteer of Pawssion Project, Miss Pai Honrado Dekeling. Hi,
Hello.
Pai.
Hello, Sherry. Thank you for having us.
Of course, it's my pleasure to have you. I would also like to say hi to my good friend Jezebel. Okay, so tell me about Pawssion.
Yeah, so actually, Pawssion is a volunteer group. We're still not SEC registered, but already on the process of being registered as a foundation because we have big dreams.
Yeah.
So yeah, it started just October 12, to be exact, really, when my friend Manang Jen, who is the owner of the farm, which is the shelter right now in Victoria's, tagged me on a post that she saw on Facebook, which was posted by SPAR. It's also an animal advocate group here in Bacolod. She tagged me on the post because initially, me and Manang Jen were supposed to put up an Airbnb business there on the farm.
Okay.
So I was there at the farm that very day because I was supposed to have the area cleaned already and prepared for the Airbnb business. And then she tagged me on this post and asked me, like, so there are 50 dogs who are all scheduled to be killed by gunshot in the pound.
Yeah.
And then she asked me, well, since we don't have any concrete plans yet, are you okay with having to save the dogs? Because she knows how much of a dog lover I am. And, coincidentally, Tita Spy commented on that post, and then she was telling me, so there's this one person also who is willing to, she's willing to donate so that we can rescue the dogs. And then I told Manang Jen, I actually know Tita Spy too. So that's it. Basically, that's how everything started, just from one single Facebook post that we commented. And then it was a Saturday, and then with the donations of everyone, the post went viral. It even reached celebrities who are dog lovers too. So it went viral, and then we decided, okay, we're going to get the dogs from the pound without any concrete plans. We just really want to take them out from there.
Yeah.
So it started there. We rescued, the initial dogs that we rescued were around 20 plus maybe, because it was split into two because there was another dog group who also pledged to take the dogs out from the pound. So it started there, and then Tita Spy and I were there at the pound to personally rescue the dogs.
Yes.
And we saw how much of a suffering they were going through. I never really thought of doing it as a permanent thing. I just wanted to take out the 50.
Yeah.
But we were there. We saw how much of the suffering they were going through, and we just couldn't stop anymore because we knew it was something that's happening every week.
Every week. Because
Every week.
the city veterinarian gets the dogs, the stray dogs,
they
and then they
impound.
put them in the impound.
Yes, basically that's also in support of the Anti-Rabies
Yes,
Act.
yes,
So,
correct.
there are unlimited requests from different barangays requesting them to impound dogs.
Yes.
So that's why it's a regular thing. And people who request dogs to be caught, they don't know that the dogs are actually being killed by gunshot.
Yeah.
So it was very alarming. And that's why we just couldn't stop anymore. And from rescuing dogs from the pound, we realized how much of a suffering the dogs were going through. We weren't just limited to rescuing dogs from the pound alone.
Yeah.
We went to rescuing stray dogs.
Yeah.
We got messages from people all over the Philippines because they think we're paws.
Yeah.
So we get messages from Cebu, Manila, elsewhere, asking us, can you help us? We
Yeah,
have a
because
stray
PAWS
dog.
is a different organization.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Different.
So after rescuing the dogs, what did you do? Where did you put them?
So that was it. The shelter that I was telling you earlier, which was supposed to be an Airbnb
Yes.
business, we just converted it to a shelter, but it's just temporary. Nothing's permanent yet.
Yes.
So the dogs are temporarily homed right now at the shelter in Victoria's at Casita, Coscolwela. It's a 4-hectare area.
Yeah.
It's really big, but then, of course, the problem here is that these are all rescue dogs who went through so much trauma, and we don't really have like a parameter fence for the whole area. So it
Yes.
would cost millions if we
Yes, 'cause it's a
prioritize
huge
that,
area.
because it's a huge area. So that was such a struggle for us because, again, these are not regular dogs.
Yes.
Dogs who went through so much trauma will always try to escape.
Correct.
So we prioritized, when we rescue the dogs, we prioritized neuter and spay operations, sterilizations, because it will actually decrease the aggressiveness of the dogs. Male dogs won't tend to roam anymore.
Yeah.
So that's what we prioritize.
Yes. But apart from that, you have to feed the dogs,
Yes.
take care of the dogs,
Yes.
etc. No?
Especially the ones that who are really sick.
Yes.
So we really have to attend to it. And
Yes.
I mean, at the very beginning, when we rescued the dogs, we were not able to like pay attention that which of the dogs are really sick. And only later on that every time that we go to the shelter, and then
Yes.
we see, and I always tell Malu, I think we need to bring this dog to the vet right away because
Yeah.
I think it's going to die if it's
Yeah.
going to stay at the shelter. So it all and then it follows from there.
Yes.
Then we started to pay attention, to give attention to the dogs who are sick.
Yes.
Then we bring whoever can bring, her or me,
Yeah.
or Charie, or whoever wants to volunteer to bring the dogs with their vehicle
Yeah.
because we don't have our own vehicles.
Yes.
So we're using our own private cars for the dogs.
Yes. So how many dogs do you have now in your property?
As of the moment, we have over 100 dogs. Since
That's a lot.
October,
A lot of
since
dogs.
October, we were able to rescue almost 300 already in total. Some were adopted. Unfortunately, some died because of diseases,
Yeah.
most especially distemper because it's airborne.
Yes.
And, to be honest, since we started the shelter, I personally have not watched any documentary, any guide on how to run a shelter.
Yeah,
correct.
I learned everything by experience.
Yes.
Felt everything like on a day-to-day basis.
So are you hands-on in taking care of these more than 100 dogs?
Yes,
Very,
we do.
very
Very
hands-on.
So
hands-on.
every day you're there too.
Since
Most of
October,
her.
Since October, Tita Spy and I
And
would
yes.
go back to the shelter every day.
Yes.
Because like what we tell people, you cannot rescue dogs and just leave them there.
Correct.
You have to be there. So if people who have been to the shelter can testify
Yeah.
how much they were amazed actually when they go there. And these stray dogs, these traumatized stray dogs
Yeah.
would run to them
Very friendly.
very friendly
Yes. Okay.
because we personally have invested so much love and attention to them as well. That's what we tell people, if you don't have money to donate or if you don't know how to advocate, just come visit the dogs and
Yes.
shower them with love
Yes.
because it matters a lot.
Just
Yeah.
emotional support from us as human beings. Because, we just want to make things clear also that dogs doesn't see us as rich or poor.
Correct.
They don't see us if we have car or don't have car.
Correct.
The only thing that they see in us is just the support and the emotional love that we give them. And they give us in return. The reward is so overwhelming because they're jumping in front of you. And if you don't give them any attention to one dog to another, they're not jealous, of course, because
Yes.
they're not humans, but they
Yes.
just want attention.
Correct.
So that's the reward they're giving us. And that's why we don't want to stop.
Yeah. These rescued dogs are already vaccinated. They have anti-rabies
Yes.
vaccine.
Almost. We're
okay.
working on all of them. So we have probably half of the dogs at the shelter are off-leashed already because they
Yes.
have been neutered,
Neutered and
spayed, they
sterilized,
have been vaccinated
Yes.
already. So it's a work in progress because of course there are so many sudden things that we have to attend
Yeah.
to. Like in the beginning, we have so many dreams. Like we wanted to office the dogs. We wanted to have them trained.
That's a lot of work, actually.
It is.
It's a lot of
It
responsibility in
is.
your
It is.
hands.
Imagine just
all at the same
one
time.
dog,
Yes.
just one healthy dog, and you feel how costly it is. Imagine
Correct.
100 more dogs, sickly,
Yes.
traumatized.
Yeah.
Yes.
Old, not to mention old
Yeah,
dogs.
old dogs.
And very malnourished.
Yes. And these dogs come from Bacolod City alone or from all over the province?
From Bacolod.
Like
From
90
Bacolod
plus
City.
90%.
90+%
is from Bacolod.
And your property is...
It's in Victoria.
So you've got to transport
We have
the
to
dogs
transfer
from
the dogs from Bacolod
to
all the way down.
Victoria's.
And
we can just imagine, like, personally, me, if I can just talk to the dogs, probably they're already telling me, this is the longest trip of my life. Imagine they have been impounded.
True.
They've been through so much trauma
Yeah.
in the pound. And
Yeah.
then they ride in a vehicle again. They travel like
Yeah.
almost an hour to the shelter. So I can just imagine maybe some of the dogs are already thinking, I think we're going to be dead after this because
Yeah.
they've been from the pound.
Oh,
Correct.
So it's so bad.
Oh, but I think this would have been avoided if pet owners were just responsible.
Yes.
Yeah. So what does it take to be a responsible pet owner?
To be a responsible pet owner is very easy. I know some of the dogs and most of the majority in the dogs here in Bacolod or all over or nationwide they don't have owners, right?
Yeah.
But the question is, we're not asking the right question. But the question is, where are these Aspen dogs come from or came from? Of course, coming from someone who owns a stray dog.
Correct.
Right? An Aspen dog.
Yeah.
And then these dogs of this pet owner doesn't even know, probably was not really aware of the dog needs to be sterilized, need to be spay or neuter. And then when the dogs get pregnant, oh my God, we have dogs again, right? So it's just so sad that we have this instance, one of our rescue volunteer, she really did experience this. Nong, you really need to have your dog kapon or spay or neuter. And then, I really like Gibaladay. I really want to, but the question is, where can I buy this kapon?
Yeah.
Like it's so expensive.
You know?
Yes.
So it's just sad that that particular person doesn't even know. That's why this is where we're coming in.
Yeah.
And going back to your question, how to become a responsible pet ownership?
Because that's most important. We could have avoided this if pet owners were just responsible.
First thing you need to do before you decide to get a dog is very simple. First, check your lifestyle.
Correct.
How are you going to live in with a dog? How big is your house? How many dogs do you want to have? Or cats? How many children do you have in the household?
Correct.
You need to consider those. And then second, if you're going to get a puppy, what is your plan? Are you going to be hands-on with the puppy? Because puppy are so cute.
Yes.
I mean, they're so cute. They're so adorable, you know?
When they
squishy,
grow.
whatever, you know, those kind of things.
Yes.
But then the puppy grows up.
Yeah.
And then they started to be a bit annoying. To be biting this, biting that. Now, as the pet owner, if you do not want to hands-on training your dog, even for just an obedience training, sit down, stay, how do you call that? Stop, no, yes, then the dog will never know. Because in the animal kingdom, dogs are born to be wild, right? Only humans made them domesticated.
Correct.
So, because they're domesticated, so it is our responsibility to continue that.
Yes.
It is our responsibility to train the dogs.
Yeah.
Now, having a puppy grows up at 7 to 8 months, what's the next step? Have your dog spay and neuter.
Yes.
If you don't want your dog to have unwanted litters, that's the best thing you should do. Fourth, if you want to add another dog, think first before you add another dog.
Correct.
So you need to be really responsible. And of course, when you have a dog, like a puppy, you have to go through the vaccination, the deworming, the 5-in-1, 6-in-1, you name it.
Correct.
Because without those vaccinations, complete, it's just like as human beings, right?
They
Children.
get sick. We get sick.
You need to have this vaccination. Kung wala ka sang tigdas nga, ano ni, di ba? Dasig ka lang anhon sang sakit. So the same thing with the dogs also. So it is no difference when you're taking a puppy and when you're taking a human being baby.
Correct.
It's just the same thing.
So you've just got to be responsible.
You just
and
need to be
hands-on.
responsible, yes.
But since many pet owners were not able to take care of their dogs, then many became stray dogs.
Yes.
And that's where you came in.
Yes.
And now, what's your problem? What's the problem of Pawssion? Do you have enough funds? I'm pretty sure you need a lot of funds to take care of these 100 plus dogs.
Sure.
Yeah,
so what's your situation now with Pawssion?
You know, every day is a struggle. People would always tell me, people would always message me like, they feel so inspired. Like, they always tell me, how did you do it? Like, in a matter of 5 months, you're able to rescue a lot of dogs and stuff. Because I always make it a point to post anything and everything positive. But, you know, my family, people who have been helping me, they know how much of a struggle I have been going through. But it's so hard, you know, like in a world that's full of negativity. Like, we live in a very dark world. Like, I've always just thought, I don't want to add up to it anymore. So, I always post all the positive things. But, you know, it's such a struggle. In the shelter right now, since we have more than 100 dogs, dog food alone, just dog food alone, it's around 20,000 per week. Because the dogs consume 1.5 sack, 20 kilogram sack of dog food a day. We also feed them wet food or table food in the afternoon. So that's rice, meat, veggies with vitamins. And I'm just grateful, really. I tap all my connections, everyone who's willing to help. You know, all the people who would message me are all those with a number of dogs too. People would message me and help me out because they feed strays too, and they feel what I feel. So they're like, you know, we just have 5 dogs, but it's such a struggle already. So we feel your pain. So we tap our own connections. We use our personal money. We shell out money. I don't even do accounting anymore because it's just a lot of money. But then in the end, it's a non-stop, and that's why we always try to explain, this rescue thing, this is just a permanent, this is just a temporary solution.
Yes.
The permanent solution to the problem of the strays really is, spay and neuter operations, the government helping out people, because we know we have people in the slums, we have people who are not financially capable of taking in dogs, but they're even more compassionate than people who can afford to pay the vet bills. But the problem really, having to go back to responsible pet ownership, having to take a dog entails financial responsibility.
Yes.
I get so many messages every day from people who cannot pay the vet bills of the dogs. So what happens is that some people who can't pay the vet bills, they just leave the dogs on the street.
And let it roam around.
We receive reports, we see dogs being left there in the streets, even with a pillow and meal from the dog owner. It's like, so you feel you're responsible because you left a pillow with your dog. But that's the problem. That's why us rescuers, since January, well, actually since October, we've had our dogs adopted for free because we just want them to have a home.
Yeah.
A shelter.
Actively advocating for adoption.
Yes,
Yes,
we do.
all our
We
dogs
do.
are for adoption. But since January, we decided, since it's such a struggle really financially, we decided for all those who want to adopt dogs from us, you can actually at least help even 500 or 1,000 in cash or even in kind. You can donate dog food just to help us sustain the shelter, because the dogs for adoption are actually already spayed, neutered, and that's 1,000 per dog. They have
we
been
already spent.
vaccinated already.
Yeah.
We paid 150 in the city hall when we adopted the dogs. So we don't count.
did.
We don't count everything that we've shelled out, but the very reason why we wanna impose this donation, we don't want to call it adoption fee. The very reason why we want to impose or include the donation fee for people who want to adopt dogs from us is because we want to make sure that the people who will adopt the dogs can financially support the vet bills of the dogs. Because, if you can't even pay 500 pesos or if you can't even buy one sack of dog food, how can you assure us that you can shoulder the vet bills of the dogs when the dogs get sick?
Correct. Okay. So, what about you, Spy? What do you continually do to help Pawssion Project?
What I do, since that we already have a place for our dogs in Victoria's, the temporary shelter.
Yes.
I continue to foster dogs.
Yes.
It all started from one sick dog.
Yeah.
And then I told Malu, okay, Malu, I'm going to bring, I think 3 dogs, if I'm not mistaken. I brought 3 dogs just right away.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring this dog. I'm going to foster this dog, bring it to the vet. After vet, rehabilitate the dog. It all started from there.
Yes.
And when we say fostering, that's a big question. What is fostering? Oh, papakanon mo lang. You're just going to feed it. That's it. Put it in the cage. No. When you say fostering, if you want to be a foster mama or foster papa or whatever you call it, it's like taking care of your own dog, but it's not your dog, and then helping them to rehome the dog.
Yeah.
So you support the dog emotionally, help them to become a dog again.
Yeah.
So walk them, play with them, talk to them, and just be nice to them. At least by the time you post it in the social media, and then share it and share and share, and
Yes.
somebody likes the dog that you fostered, I'd like to foster,
They
I'd like
can
to
adopt.
adopt that.
Yeah.
Then you are already, I'm very confident, or we are very confident enough already that this dog is adoptable.
Yeah.
So that's why it's very important that at least for us, especially as we have a sick dog, we need a foster volunteer for our dog who are really in need of attention.
So whoever wants to foster a dog or adopt
They are
a
very
dog,
welcome.
they're very welcome.
They are, because
They can
we
just
are
go to
we are
Victoria's.
going to help them. We're going to
Yeah.
we're gonna help them. We're gonna guide them
Yeah.
how to do it.
Yeah.
And me myself and her herself also fostering dogs. We're the same now.
Yeah.
At first I'm the only one, and then she has no choice, but she have to take in some of the dogs.
Yeah.
So we're actually just sharing each other's responsibility, and we don't okay, you have a lot of things to do. I have a lot of because that is what passion is all about.
Yeah.
That's why Pawssion is born.
Yeah.
That's why we have Pawssion, because of the paw.
Yeah.
It represents the paw of the dogs.
Yes.
And the Sean represents the passion.
Yeah, your passion for the dogs. Okay, that's wonderful. Okay, so tell me about the process in the event that they would like to donate.
Okay, so Malu, I think
Yeah, right now, we don't really want any money issues.
Yes.
So while we still don't have the SEC registration, people who want to donate to us can donate in kind. So they
Yeah.
can donate dog
Medicine,
food.
dog
They can
food.
donate
Yeah.
dog food. We have dogs admitted in the vet. Every
Yeah.
day we have patients there.
Yes.
So people who want to help out, they can ask us which vet the dogs are in right now. So
They
they
can
can
just
go there
pay,
directly
pay
and
the-
pay. Just
Yeah.
give a deposit on
Yeah.
behalf of Pawssion. But, there are also people really who want to help financially because they're not here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we welcome that. And what I always just tell them, please just message me once I'm done posting that
Yeah.
Pawssion is registered because I can issue receipts already.
Yes.
Because we really don't want any money issues.
Yes.
Tita Spy and I, we both have our personal lives. We
Yes,
have
we
our jobs. We have our businesses. And we've gone through so much just because of our passion with having to save the dogs, and we don't want to count anything because what I always tell people, in this kind of mission, we just entrust everything to God. Like
Correct.
God's providence since the beginning of this project is so remarkable.
Yeah.
And I would always tell people how this project is not mine. This is God's project just through all of us. So, Pawssion Project is not just about rescuing dogs. It's not just about animals. But, we just want to keep the faith and hope in humanity alive. Everyone helping each other. We want to show people how unity can actually, bring about the faith and
Yes.
humanity alive again.
We need to
That's
work.
beautiful.
We need to work together.
Yes.
Because we want. Not only us as the animal advocates, and then we don't want to take all the the compliment and the privilege and to be honored. And we don't need that. What we need is someone and somebody who's just gonna step in
Yeah.
and just do what they can do for these unfortunate
And
stray animals.
Yes.
Cats or
Yes.
dogs.
So what do they do naman if they would want to adopt?
Now, if they want to adopt, the process is very important. First, when they see our post that there's a dog needed to be adopted, halimbawa, our first concern right now and the biggest concern now is that the city doesn't stop catching dogs.
Yeah.
Right? So since we already have our dogs in our shelter, they're already confined, they're already okay, they've been taken care of, and somebody's taking care of them. We monitor them from time to time, or most of the time. But these dogs that has been impounded by the city pump,
Yeah.
that's very important.
Yeah.
First they need to do is, when they see whatever that we post for the dogs, they need to go to the city pound.
Yeah.
Okay, what they're gonna do? They choose which dog they want to adopt. Second, they go back to City Hall
Yeah.
and then pay the adoption for 100 and 50 pesos for the vaccines.
Yes.
And the question is, where is this located? It's located at Barangay 35 at the back of Bongbong's,
Yes.
a former slaughterhouse of Bacolod.
Yeah.
That's where the city pound is located. So, and it's very important that they have to go through this because
Yes.
they cannot just go there and adopt the dog.
Correct.
So they have to go through this process. And
Yes.
don't forget that they need to fill in the form as well and bring that receipt with them to the city pound officer so they can release the dog. And also, don't forget to bring your own collar
Yeah.
and leash.
Okay, because of course, how will you
How are you gonna
bring
carry?
a dog
But
if you don't have the leash? and
or
yeah.
bring some towel where you
Yeah.
can wrap the dog, or
Correct.
get a cage. At least secure your dog to
Yes.
climatize when you bring your dog to your house. They need to climatize first. Don't force the dog to like you right away.
Yeah.
They need to get to know you first. The same thing that you need to get to know them.
Yes.
So always do not approach the dog like directly.
Correct.
Always
Because the dog
need-
might bite you. Oh.
Yes, they will bite you, and
Yeah,
we're just
because
gonna
they've
bring
been
it back because
traumatized.
yes.
Yes.
So that's why if they need a guidance or just the details of information how to really do that,
Yeah.
they can always message us
Yes.
anytime. They're always very welcome to do that.
You have a Facebook page.
Yes, we do.
yeah. Oh, by the way, that one was from the pound.
Yeah.
If they want to adopt the dog
Yeah.
directly from the pound.
Yeah. What about
If
from
they
the
wanna adopt
shelter?
from the shelter, they can message us. And then what we really advise is for them to go to the shelter first.
Yes.
Because we get people messaging us, commenting on photos of nice dogs and then
Yes.
telling us we want to adopt this dog. So I always tell them, no, you have to go to the shelter first
Yeah.
because we don't want dogs to be adopted just because you like them physically.
Yeah.
You have to have a connection with the dog.
Yeah.
So you have to go to the shelter first, go around, look for a dog with which you have a connection with, and then let me know. And then we really conduct an interview first because you want to check if you're actually qualified,
Yeah.
if you're a responsible pet owner, because again, we've gone through a lot, and you want to make sure that these dogs will fall into the hands of a responsible pet
Yes.
owner. So after the interview, if they pass, then they go back to the shelter and take in the dog. And again, just our appeal, we don't ask for adoption fees.
Just a
Just from the
donation.
bottom of your
Yes.
heart,
Any
just to
donations.
sustain
Yeah.
the shelter. So it's as easy as that. But then, just a heads up also, we are very sorry because we cannot have puppies adopted
Yeah.
by people who have never had a dog.
A dog.
Yeah.
Because again, these are stray dogs.
Correct.
All puppies are cute. But the problem with, other stray dogs, they're being left there on the streets because when they grow older, they don't like the physical appearance of the dog
Correct.
anymore. It's
Yeah.
different with breed dogs and stray dogs.
True.
So, just a heads up. If you keep on commenting on our post with puppies, if you've never had a dog, I'm sorry, but we cannot allow it. So at least take responsibility first, adopt an adult dog. We can let you adopt an
Yes.
adult dog because they're actually very nice and they're
Yes.
trained already. You don't have
Yes.
to wake up in the middle of the night and feed them.
Yes,
And,
for the potty training and
it's
stuff like
it's
that.
very, very tiring actually with
Yeah.
puppies. They're cute, but it's so much work. So
Yes.
they can
So
adopt
much
adult dogs.
responsibility.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I want to also add, I also want to add up about the dog that's been impounded. Not only
Yeah.
the stray dogs that's been impounded,
Yeah.
also the ones that has a pet owner.
Oh.
Owners.
Yes.
Halimbawa, they room their dog freely. So even if they have a collar,
Yeah.
because they're outside of the house, they'll be impounded.
Yeah.
So what do they need to do? Still again, go to the city pound,
Yeah.
recognize your dog, acknowledge it's your dog, go back to the city hall, pay the 500 pesos to redeem your dog. Don't forget to fill in the form again
Yeah.
and bring the receipt, and then you can claim
Yeah.
your dogs.
I understand you have close coordination with the city veterinarian.
Yes, we do. We must and we should, because it's the only way that we need to
Yeah.
We can address
how do you call this, to
Strengthen
cross the
ties
bridge
and
between the
cross
gap
bridge.
of the non-profit organization and the city
Yeah.
officials.
It's good that you are coordinating with them.
Yes, we
because
do.
we understand also the reason why the city veterinarian needs to impound these dogs.
Yes.
Because, of course,
For the
they're-
anti-rabies
yeah, for
act.
the anti-rabies
Yeah.
campaign. No? We
Correct.
could not allow dogs just to roam around the
Freely
city
roam
streets
around.
and then
Bite
bite people.
kids, most especially.
Kids, yes.
Yeah,
no?
but you know what? I just want to clarify the thing that they have this, notion about the stray dogs.
There's a
that
stigma really with
It is.
like dogs, that dog is gonna bite you.
Yeah.
Honestly speaking, it's just, somehow it's just make me so frustrated and so sad that even if I'm walking, I'm really literally walking 5
Yeah.
Aspen dogs that I am fostering at the back of
Yes.
my office at Sticker House.
Yes.
I do have 11 dogs there.
Yes.
I walk them morning, at noontime, and the evening before I
Yes.
go home. So even if they're so cute already, they are still be, stigmatized or
They're still
labeled like,
well.
like this. Oh, the dog is gonna bite. But my dog this is doing his business and walking. Come on, lady. And I was, you look at them like, oh my God. Do I have to say this, or should I just, keep my mouth shut? But you know what? I need to address it. So, of course, in a very civil way.
Of course.
So I have-
But, you cannot also
yes.
blame these people.
Yes, you need to
They're
be-
just being
yes,
careful with their
yes,
children.
yes.
No? So,
So
it's a two-way process.
Exactly. So
the
you
person
need-
has to be careful at the same time. The dog owner and the dogs is, they're
Yeah.
harmless. No?
Yes, exactly.
If
So
So really,
they're
at the end of the day,
Yes.
it goes back to the pet owner.
To the pet
True.
owner,
To the
gihapon.
pet owner.
Yes.
And we need responsible pet
Yes.
ownership.
Yes.
Yes.
Because this problem would not have risen if we have responsible
Yes.
pet owners.
And we want to also add, Charie, we want also to add this for the people to know, especially
Yeah.
the citizens of Bacolod,
Yes.
what is Animal Welfare Act.
Correct.
So a lot of people doesn't know that.
Yeah.
So it's about the anti-rabies thing, right?
True.
What is Animal Cruelty Act?
Yes.
How do you define? I know a lot of Bacolod non doesn't even know that. Especially ang mga how do you call that? And the ones who are living in the slums area, mga poor, and even the middle class doesn't even know.
Yes, but we have that.
Yeah,
Animal
but we have
Cruelty
that. That's
Act
why
and
we
Animal
encourage
Welfare Act.
everyone to please Google it and read it kung ano na siyang animal cruelty. Because even anybody of us can just
File a case.
file a case or
Yeah.
a report directly to the police
Correct.
that there's a dog been bitten
Yeah.
or shoot
That's animal
or being
cruelty.
hanged. That's already an animal cruelty.
Correct.
That's why anybody can just file a case.
And even if you just put 20 dogs in a 2x2
Yes, that's already a cruelty.
cage,
Animal cruelty.
that's animal cruelty
That's
already.
Or you
Yeah.
leash the dog and
Yeah.
it's a very, very short leash.
Yeah,
It's
that's
animal
animal-
cruelty.
Yes.
Correct.
And we also want to add up also about the vaccination month
Yeah.
for the community dogs or cats.
Yes.
So it's always happening from January to July.
Yes.
All over 61 barangays.
Yes.
And in Bacolod. And also the one that, how do you call that? The catching the dogs.
Yes.
Ang mga stray dogs.
Yes.
It's going to start on August up
Yes.
to December. Now, for the pet owners who has Aspin dogs, we changed the word Askal to
Oo.
Aspin.
Oo.
Because when you say Askal, it doesn't have any value, life value anymore. At all. But when you say Aspin, oh, asong Pinoy. Social lang siya. You know? But what I'm trying to say
Askal
here...
is asong kalye.
Yes, it's asong kalye. Pero
Yes.
it's much better to say asong Pinoy.
Gives them value.
Yes.
So I want to encourage the pet owner to please secure your dog.
Yeah.
If you don't have a perimeter around your area, at
Yes.
least attach a long leash,
Leash.
laba na leash.
Yes.
That's not at least enough for the dogs to just roam around.
Yes.
Because as soon as your dog is gone for 3 days, or not even 3 days, 2 days, please go directly to the city pound.
Oh.
Because I know your dog is gonna be there, and you
Yes.
don't want your dog to be euthanized by gunshot.
Yes.
And
I
you
know
just
it's
FYI for everyone, because they still don't know. Once the dog has been impounded, the dog can only stay in the pound for 3
For
days.
3 days.
Yes. After that, they have to be shot.
Shot.
Yeah.
So it's not like
It's
the proper
by law, ha?
euthanasia.
Yeah,
It's
true.
And
It's by
it's
law.
legal. And
Yes.
it's legal. So, people have so many questions regarding the adoption fees. It varies. Every city has the power to,
Correct.
impose a
Depends
different
on the city ordinance.
Yes. Other cities will ask people to pay 500, others
Yeah.
3,000. Here in Bacolod, it's 150. So it's not something that we rescuers ask from people. It's,
Correct.
it's it's
Yeah.
something that, it's a protocol from the city. So, having said that, I think it's also an appeal to, lawyers, because there are so many lawyers out there actually who don't even know about the Animal Welfare Act also. So,
Yeah.
we have people wanting to file a case, but there's no one who can assist
Yeah.
them. So right now, since we're getting so many messages already about people reporting to us, which is a good thing, it's a bittersweet thing. It's bad because you get so many reports, but it's a good thing because people now
Yeah,
take
are aware
action.
and they
Yeah,
take
so the
action.
fact
Aware.
that they
True. Yes.
report to us, that
Yes.
means that they're concerned because they
Yes.
report dogs that are not even theirs.
Yes.
So just an appeal to, to lawyers. Probably we can have more lawyers study on the Animal Welfare Act, so we'll have more people who can fight for the animals. And also an appeal to, people in office. People who can afford. You don't even have to be in office to, sponsor spay and neuter operations, because again, that's really just the answer to this. Other than responsible pet ownership, it's population control
Yeah.
for the animals that can reduce the number of strays. So, it's an appeal to everyone. Just work together, keep the hope and faith in humanity alive as usual. Election is coming, so maybe we can have people in office to try to focus on animals.
Yes.
Because we've had so many people helping humans already, and that's no question. But I guess it's time that we help these animals because they are forever voiceless.
Correct.
You know how much God repays you when you help people who can never ever repay you. So I guess it's time really. We have to be a voice to these animals because forever voiceless. Really.
Yes. Thank you. What about you, Spy, your message?
My message to our Bacolod non, not only in Bacolod, all over nationwide. I mean, we need to just step in lang. We need to step in and start doing something for these animals.
Yes.
Because what Malu is saying is animals doesn't have any voice.
True.
So we, as humans, should be the voice for the animals. I know we cannot save all dogs and cats.
Correct.
That's given already. But we can only save the ones we can save.
Yes.
And we can only prevent what we can prevent. How are we going to do that? Do it. Spay and neuter your
Yes.
your house pets.
Yes. And if there's more than 2 hands who work and help, then we could be able to
Oh, yes.
help
Make
more
a
dogs.
bigger-
Yes, it will
They're-
make a bigger dent.
They are very welcome to message us because we are welcoming anybody We are not discriminating any other
Yeah.
rescue group, just for the record, okay? Because we have a lot of,
So where can
going
they
on.
message you?
They can message the page. We have a Facebook and Instagram page. So it's both Pawssion Project.
Okay.
So anyone, everybody can message us. Right now, we're looking for more volunteer rescuers.
Okay.
Yes.
Because basically it's just me and Tita Spy rescuing dogs. So sometimes we get reports in the middle of the night
Yeah.
and you can never turn a blind eye. We personally cannot
Which
go
you
to
did.
sleep. We
Yeah.
cannot go to sleep if we know that there's a dog out there waiting
Yeah.
to be rescued. So we
Yeah.
need more
Yeah.
volunteer
Need more
rescuers. Yeah, those who have a car, so that, at any point in time, you can just send a message. Whoever is in the area,
Yeah.
you can take in the dog already and bring to the vet. So just that.
Okay.
And which I just want to add also, Charie, that we have this group called Bacolod Unified Animal Group. In short, it's BUWAG.
Yes.
So it's the group been working together, of course, with us, the Pawssion, the Care, and then the SPAR. And any of this rescue group, they
Yeah.
can just message us.
Okay, that's wonderful.
There's no limit, not limited
yes.
to.
Oh, wonderful.